Okay, all right, so let's get started. So earlier in the morning, I looked at C5 and I took a sell right here. Then I went out, I just got back in. So I was looking for to just take profit here. It was a short-term trade, just looking for 30 pips. So I just noticed prices retracing now. At the same time, for me, it was a short-term trade, but there's still potential for this price to pull back to the 13 EMA. If they want to continue pushing up, they should at least come here. But if they break, then it becomes like a reversal sell. That was my main view on C500. So I currently have only one position running, and thinking of breaking even. Let me just see what can potentially happen here. They might respect this zone, even though it's a minor zone there. So for this particular runner, I'll just put my stop loss just above this zone. So let me just check where the stop loss was. My stop loss was on 39.03, so I'm now putting it on 38.96. 38, either 38.96 or just break even the trade. Let's see what this price wants to do, because it looks like they are bullish. Yeah, you're welcome, man. It looks like they are bullish. If you look at it like from the daily, C5 looks like it's bullish, but it's been wanting to reverse for the past few days. If you notice, we've had some selling days between the bullish days, so it can potentially play out either way. Because if you look to your left on the daily, you can see they are respecting a zone. They just tapped into it, even though they didn't take out liquidity. So I'm assuming they might consider taking out liquidity before a pullback happens, and that's where we might consider sells. That's my current view for now. Then looking at H4, H4 for me, they took out these highs, which means they might retrace before pushing up. That's where my sell is based. And my sell is also short term. It's not yet long term until we break below the zone here. So if we break below the zone, then I'll be looking forward to actually add positions. But for now, it looks like we're bullish. But I still want to get a retracement, man. You see this explosive push up. If we are to remain bullish, if price can retrace at least to the 38 level of this impulsive move here, then that will be best. But let's see what happens to that minor zone there. If it's violated, there's a high probability that price still wants to probably extend the high. And again, if you check, my sell is based off this baseline bounce here after this high was extended here. So there's still a chance we can still come here and have a very good sell. So I think C5, let's keep stalking it, because they can give a quick move either from current price or somewhere around today's high. So anywhere around 39.10, from 38.90 to 39.10, that range there, we might actually get price selling back to the 50 EMA at least. That's my current view on C5, but it's not a high probability trade for now, so it's just one position which I'm managing. Then C3, if we go on H1, how did I map this out? Okay, I was looking for a potential sell yesterday around this area and around this area, but if you notice, price didn't give us that sell. They remains above the 13 EMA, meaning intraday we were still bullish for the most part. So today, if we're going to look for sells, I would love to get price breaking this order block, because I'm looking at this price respecting this. They broke, respected. So this could be price restricting the area, or they could extend the high, tap onto the 200, then create a sell. But for now, this price is bullish, and we can only consider sells. If this price comes below 24.50, we can just see how this price will be looking. We might get a sell, but as long as we're trading above the 50 EMA for now, we are bullish. So for the sells to become strong, I need to get a strong impulsive move, then a retracement, then I'll consider sells. Or otherwise, these guys may come take our liquidity up here, take our liquidity here, and actually tap into the 200 EMA, then create a new pattern, then we can sell. So those are my two views on our C300. B1000, what I noticed is they ended up pushing down from yesterday. We're looking for a buy here and a buy here, but if you notice, they came down with strong momentum, so I didn't have any setup. Sometime late in the night, I saw this, but I was just skeptical of this trade. If you notice on M15, we had I noticed a shark fin from some time frame. I'm not sure what time frame, but we had this, and when I saw price, it was here, so I knew they would potentially push up here, but I wasn't sure of the trade here. It wasn't a high probability, so I didn't take it. But they pushed about 50 pips plus to this high here. So today, I would say for me, price action is not really too clear on what they want to do. If you notice on the daily, they look like they want to push down. So B1000, I cannot buy it until price breaks today's highs. That's when I'll consider a buy. So for now, it looks like it's a downtrend. Until we break today's highs on this gray zone here, that's when I will consider taking a short-term buy. That's my only view for B1 for today. If they continue pushing down, it will just be the downtrend flowing. Maybe we might look for an intraday reversal later on in the day. But for now, I do not have anything except a buy if we close above 13,890. That's my point of interest there. Then going to C1000. C1000, I think yesterday we said they would potentially create or push to 54.43 based on the weekly. If you check this out, coming down to these lows here, so price can still continue being bearish. That's a possible play. The daily consolidated today, we've got motion. H4 already pushed down. This spike here would be a point of interest for me. Going to H1, you see that is this low here, which is actually yesterday's low. So that H4 spike, you see, that's yesterday's low. So for me, that will be a flip zone sell. So I would love to sell this if we can pull back into this area here. Then I'll consider sells for a continuation to the downside. So for now, I feel like this leg is pulled down. I would love to see price start to retrace. Then I'll definitely run a fib here, because we'll be just going with the trend. So if this is the low and they decide to retrace from here, I'm anticipating to get my sell within the 50 and 61% retracement, which is in line with yesterday's low, which makes this setup a flip zone. We also have a 1350 cross, so we might get price coming to retest the 50 EMA, which also means a new pattern will form within this higher time frame view, and we'll execute a sell here, which we are going to hold for at least 50 plus pips, probably 100 if this trend decides to play out. But at the same time, if you look to the far left, this price might also respect this zone. If you notice, that very low here, the tip of this week, is what price is reacting to right here. So they broke, came back to tap it, so they might push down, extend this impulsive move, before we get a retracement. That means we just have to adjust this fib retracement if a new low is set. But for now, I'll say this is my main point of interest. Anyway, around 58.10. That's my point of interest. The 5810 is my point of interest for selves. So that's my view for C1 today. B5. When I looked at it yesterday, I was looking for potential buys here or here, or a break of this zone. So they ended up breaking, and it was just an instant push. They didn't retest this zone. They just pushed up with acceleration, extended the high, then gave a deep retracement. So this one I didn't trade it because I think I was on C5 yesterday. That's what I was active on. So I didn't take this B5 trade. So looking at it today, still feel like they will retrace, because if you notice, they've been pushing up for quite some time without retracing to the 13 EMA. So I'm not really keen on taking any buys. Even H4, there's no like deep retracement here. H1, nothing too solid, of which if you look at yesterday's high here, you will notice that once you see a spike here creating a high of the day, usually that's a stop hunt or liquidity grab. So once price does that, they usually retrace or reverse. So seeing that price fail to take that high, respective this close below that zone, I still feel like this price could still be bearish. So on B5, I do not have anything solid for today. Then J10 has also been strong bullish. I was waiting for a retracement yesterday. If you notice, I ran this fib from this low, which broke this structure up until this high, which is sort of giving a retracement. So price is yet to come to any of these fib retracement zones. So I do not have any trade there, but we might potentially look for a sell since we are anticipating a retracement, but the sell will be a short-term sell. So if you also take a closer look, you notice that price is sort of respecting this area and this area with a baseline bounce. So if we can retrace back to the baseline again and respect it, which would be somewhere here or somewhere here, I would love to sell J10 and target these lows here, or the 38.2 retracement on the fib, or the 200 EMA on H1. So what I would want to see is price pushing a little bit more up. Let me see if I can get a zone. So you can see we've got 2 points of interest here, or should I say 3. The first point of interest is this supply zone here. Second point of interest is this minor resistance zone here. Then the third point of interest is this order block here. So I've got supply zone, resistance zone, and an order block right here. So those are my 3 points of interest. What I want to see is just price respecting any of those zones. Then we can confirm with the pattern on a smaller time frame, like M15, then we can execute the trade. So J10, I think we might get a sell setup today. Most probably we might get a sell setup. So either price will do this, or do this. So that's what I'm waiting for. If you are on J10, you can just mark your H1. You see those zones here. The price levels will be, for the supply zone, it's 89,415. That's a point of interest. For the resistance zone, it's 89,325. Then for this order block here, it's 89,130. So on any of these points, if we get a reaction, then we can sell. But if price does something else, then I do not have any trade. I won't have any trade or setup on J10. V250 gave short-term sells back into the fib retracement here. So let me just go to H1. Let me see how I was looking at it. Okay, so if you look at H1, I was looking at this impulsive push which broke the level up to this high. So they actually retraced to the 50 EMA, gave a nice buy yesterday. Then they created this high here. I was still eyeing them just to see what they want to do. So you see, I had marked this high to see if I can use it. But if you notice, price was all over the place, so I couldn't use this for any particular setup. But if you look at H4 now, price is most likely coming to grab some liquidity at the top there. Let me just quickly show you the price level. So I've got liquidity on top of this week, which is in line with the 200 EMA right here. Then I've got a fair value gap here. So I feel like this price is heading up here. That's why these sales actually didn't play out. And this buy motion will most likely continue all the way up here. So if we can get a buy or a setup for a buy, I would love to take a short-term buy. So I'm going to remove this fib on this impulsive move in the morning. So soon as you know your bias, all you have to do, if your market is trending, you can play with your fib, see if it can give you an entry. So from the morning, if you knew that price is potentially pushing up, first impulsive move, this was order block, this was also a zone. So price retrace all the way back into the 50 and 61.8 levels. Then what candlesticks did we have? So if you're using fibs, you need to look for a candlestick for entry, right? So this particular price action, we first had a rejection on the 50 level. Then price extended that low to just tap on the 200 EMA. TDI rejected the 50 level. So this rejection, most likely it painted after this close. And this looks like a W pattern. If we drop down to M5, it's a W pattern on the 200 EMA and on the 50 EMA. So a safe sell can be at the break of this level, right? So since we know that our price is being delivered to the top side, what are we looking for now? We're still looking for more or less the same thing. For price to potentially respect this zone here, which is a high within today's price. So this zone here, if you want, you can still run a new fib from this new higher low, which broke this level, which broke this high here. Then you run it to where price is retracing. So if this high holds and the retracement continues, I'll be looking for a buy around any of these areas from either 38.2 or 50, with 61.8 lining up with the 50. So that's my point of interest for buys. Anyway, in this area, I'll be looking for a continuation to the upside. But if this price comes below now, excuse me, then I won't have any setup because my bias for now is bullish and I'm only looking to satisfy a buying bias. So that's my view on V250 1S. V10 and V75, I had just added them. This one, I was just explaining it to some guy last night. V75, I remember we marked this zone as price retracing on M15. They did exactly that and they dropped. But I don't trade this, so I'm still going to remove it from my watch list so that I don't get too carried away. So high probability trade V2501S, we'll leave it here and wait for price to get into our zone. J10, we're looking for a potential sell to the downside, being a retracement to the push up, which has been going on. We're going to leave this on the H1. So again, you might say maybe we might run a fib or step. Yeah. I noticed Step index yesterday, they had a nice sell setup. So let me add step and let's quickly look at it. So here I was saying you can still run a fib. We're not yet sure if this is actually a trend, but we can try run a fib here. And if you notice, the 50 and 61.8 area is also our point of interest. So we're just going to leave it like that for now. So market watch, let me quickly add step index. Do I have it here? Oh, there it is. Okay, so step index, check this sell from the top. Hey, that was a nice sell there. Just going to throw the template there. Okay. So this was a nice move yesterday. If you notice, there was just acceleration, no big pullback until we got to the low of yesterday. That's when price retraced into a fair value gap here. Then that sell just continued. So today, if the momentum continues, we might get a flips on sell right here on yesterday's lows. That's where this setup might form. But anyways, since we haven't traded this yet, I would love to see how the weekly is looking. So from the weekly, I've got this low here, broken and retested nicely here. That's my first point of interest. So I won't worry much about the price action, which is above. Just focus on how price is moving now. So I also see they are setting all-time lows. So there is no TP on where this price is going. They will definitely have to set a new low there. If we look at the daily, we've got nice momentum to the downside. And I feel like this current low, which is the current all-time low, might easily get taken out if we look at it from a daily perspective, from a daily chart perspective. So I just want to flow with price here and see what exactly they were expecting. So this zone was violated, but they respected this. This area is visible. If you convert your charts to a line chart, that's how you come up with these zones. So initially, if we are doing analysis, usually I mark where the candlestick bodies end and I mark the wick. Price will respect one of the two. If it's a downtrend, they'll either respect this or they'll respect this. So here they violated this, but ended up pushing up here. So that's the red zone you see there. So since we know our buyers, we are looking for sells. We are looking for supply areas, fair value gaps. Okay, dropping down to H4, we broke this zone here. If you see price came, stopped, created an order block, which looks like it's a supply zone. So if price retraces to this area, that's also a good area to sell from. And this is from H4. If you notice, we are also in a range on H4. So price might play around this area. Also, we should just be open to that idea. So this momentum move dropping down to H1. Let me just take a look at H3 for now. And we also have a supply zone there. Okay, H1. H1 has got a lot of order blocks. So like if you see here, these are all points of interest for sales where price could potentially retrace to. So since there are so many, it shows there's a lot of momentum with price. And for now, we're not really sure where price will react. They can simply continue dropping down to the downside as well. That's also possible. But the best setup here, from my point of view, would be a retracement into this area. Because most time frames from H1, H2, H3, H4, they are showing this zone as price having to stop, pull back, create a zone, then drop. I feel like we might get a setup right here for a continuation to the downside. So if we can get a retracement, I'll be happy with that. Then we can look for sales. So going back to H1, I'm going to draw this zone here, which is in line with this zone here. So that's my point of interest for sales. Looking at it today, can I run a fib here? Running a fib on this particular setup can get confusing because you might want to run it all the way from the top part to where price starts to retrace. But here the retracement was tiny. They didn't get to any level. Running it like this takes price all the way back up. So all these areas are valid because there's also supply zones in these areas. But I would still go for this area since we've got momentum in the market. So if I'm going for that area, I'll pick to run my fib from this high to this low. Then if you run it like that, you see that our 50 and 61.8 fib retracements are right within our point of interest. So I think for now, I'm going to leave this chart on this time frame, H1. Then I'll wait to see what this price really wants to do around about that area. So I'm still bearish. I'm still bearish. Let me check M15. Okay, so yeah, I'll leave this chart on H1 and see if they can retrace into my zone there. Then I'll definitely look for a sell. And if this sell happens from here, this price will definitely be coming to these lows here before they even think of retracing, maybe filling the range. So I'm still bearish, and that's my point of interest there. So I'm going to leave this on H1 as well. So C5, I think it has taken me up now. Let me check. Yeah, it is taking me out, but I'll keep stalking because I feel like C5 might still actually give us a setup somewhere around here. Once the TDI gets here, at that time, price will potentially either be extending the high or it will be on equal highs. So this will be my point of interest for now. This zone will change. As soon as we set a new high, this zone will change to come right here. So I'll keep stalking on C5 and see if they can give us a setup today. Also keep stalking on C1. B1 looks bearish. C5, C1000 looks like they want to sell from here, but I do not have an entry. So I would still also rather wait. I'll still rather wait and see if they can pull back to yesterday's lows. That will be a better setup than to enter now. So I'll be looking forward for a retracement of some sort back all the way up here. Then we can take a sell. Yeah, apart from that, I don't have anything else. If you've got any questions, bro, you can shoot. Let's see, B5, maybe they want to give something there. Nah, I don't think so. B5, I'll only consider a buy, short-term buy, if we also break today's highs, because you can see that's where the last high is. So if this is our peak, then this range is my order block. So I'd love to see price come up like this. So for now, I don't have anything here, and this price can easily continue pushing down. Yeah, I think that's it for me today, bro. The only thing with a high probability, I don't think I have got any high probability on the boom and crash except for V2501S and most likely step index. Step index might actually give a good sell if they retrace. So it's step V2501S. J10 might also potentially play out. B5, doubting it. C1000 needs a huge pullback for me to enter. B1 needs to break above today's high, looks bearish. C1 needs to break below the order block, and C5 needs to show me what it wants to do really here. But again, it looks like I might just participate on C5 because it's the one I've been trading since last week. I've been getting setups on C5, even though they've been short. I've been getting setups on C5, so I'll mainly stock on C5 and see if they can give me something. Apart from that, I think that's it from me today. Hopefully, we'll have a very good day today. So for any other updates, I'll still share in the Telegram group. Thank you so much for joining, bro. Enjoy your day. It's your birthday today. We need to make some birthday pips. Need to make some birthday pips. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated. If I get something, I'll let you know. Enjoy the rest of your day, bro. Good trading.